All right, so like, do you think like your overall experience moving from Toronto to Atlanta would have been different if you would have been solo? Like nobody else moving with you?
Yeah.
Just you in the house you in right now?
100%. Because I moved with Waleed. Waleed spent pretty much all the time with me in Toronto. I lived by myself, but he was basically there the entire time. So I kind of lived with Waleed in Toronto too. But then when I came here, I already knew a bunch of people. I'd say next to LA, like Atlanta is the biggest next spot for content creators. Yeah. Yeah, is that true? I think so.
LA and then Atlanta.
Yeah, that's okay. Perfect.
Yeah, LA.
Oh, we're not New York?
Nah, New York is
maybe New York, but I think Atlanta has more.
You said content creator, you mean specifically YouTube or
YouTube.
Yeah. New York.
You talking about like TikTok or what?
No, I'm talking about like movies. I think we said content. I don't know. You talking about as big a scale as movies or something like that.
Oh,
but yeah,
probably Atlanta would still be when it comes to
Atlanta,
movies. And then like I know Davis. I knew a few other content creators.
Who else?
The Shoot Everyone Lives Here. The other Shoot that changes his name every other moment lives here. So there was like a handful of people I could at least reach out to create content the same way I could in Toronto.
True.
I don't know if I'll move by myself. I'm not gonna lie. I hate meeting new people. Like I have to force myself to do it. I would be miserable if I moved to a place by myself with nobody.
Yeah.
And I had to talk the whole time with new people.
Yeah, it was terrible, bro. Trust me. And it made me hate like
when did you do that?
Like 2014.
Where did you move?
2014, I moved from South Carolina to Germany by myself.
Word. See, that sounds crazy.
Yeah, and it was like
that sounds nuts,
bro.
To me.
Yeah, it was, bro. And it was like I didn't like since I was by myself, and I hate meeting new people, and I'm not the social type of person that'll introduce myself first. It was like I felt like there was no need for me to like go out, like experience what Germany had to offer.
Yeah,
or that's any place though. I could have moved to Atlanta and it still would have been the same.
So how many good friends would you say you had while you were in Germany?
One.
And
that was my roommate. After like 4 months, like after 4 months, he said something to me. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, I responded and it just kind of like, next day he said something else. Mm-hmm. And it was like.
That sounds lonely as fuck.
It was, bro. And that was like, I come from like being around like 10, 11 friends a day or all day. And so I'm watching them like do the same, like the stuff we used to do together in Germany by myself. And it was like lonely as fuck.
Word. Yeah. Lo, have you ever had roommates?
No, I've never had roommates before. But that also, another thing I was concerned about is, I be putting in a lot of work to get like some promised pussy. Imagine just leaving. No. Imagine just leaving and like all that work you put in, you got to redo again. I'm not about to do that. That's no.
But that's not a problem for you.
Hold on though,
right?
Hold on.
I don't know because I don't feel like going nowhere else and getting some pussy.
I'm not the type of person who have sex with a lot of people, different people. I like fucking like one person a lot of times.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so like. Excuse me, but like when you have it set up, you know what I'm saying? Like when you have like your roster set up.
Facts.
You got a roster, yo.
Nah, like when you have your roster set up.
You had one person a lot of times, but it's a whole roster.
But I'm saying though, like.
But he talking about just like a 3-man line though.
Yeah.
3-4 man.
Yeah, he thinking like basketball
like a whole 13 man.
No. When you have your roster set up, and like the rotation or whatever,
exactly,
and it's like
it's like Tom Thibodeau, just a few get a lot of minutes. You know what I mean?
Bruh, this is a great setup, and I don't want to get traded.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah, imagine you being a coach. You got your lineup situated,
and you got the Super Bowl in here.
Yeah,
everything and you get traded to the Browns.
Come on,
you on the Patriots right now. You got Tom Brady. You rocking.
You had all your go-tos in order. You had your backups.
You get traded to the Browns,
and then you don't even know. Yeah, imagine where you go turn out being the Browns.
Yeah.
Or the Charlotte Hornets. Like, you're done.
Yo, I had LeBron.
Careers go to die, man.
That's what I'm saying. So I didn't want to do all that. But I don't know. Like, I don't mind being like by myself. So the whole like roommate thing, I don't think I really would have cared. I stay downstairs all the time anyways. I don't really talk to y'all niggas regardless.
Do. Yeah, when I mean like we like I might not hear from you for days.
That's a fact. So I don't think it really would matter to me. And if I would have lived on the south side of town, you know, I ain't had to travel as much as I do now to go, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so if it was there, it was there. But I do feel like I needed to separate myself from a lot of that shit because a lot of that shit was toxic. So I need to separate myself. But like going all the way to like, man, that's too far, bro. I get homesick in the first like month and a half. I wouldn't even talk to y'all niggas. I'd be so upset.
So you can live in a that's kind of where
I'm not saying for my whole life,
but that's kind of the lane that you're building for yourself. You know what I mean? Like for me, I knew for a fact that I hated Toronto winter. So as much as I love the city, I wanted an option to move somewhere that's warmer when it's cold in Toronto. So I need to get my visa. So that's what I did. So I'm working to get permanent residence here so that I can kind of just move back and forth whenever I want. Like kind of like Drake did. Drake just got a new like penthouse in Toronto. But he has like a whole cul-de-sac in LA. He has homes everywhere. I'm not going to have Drake money, but I would like to have at least a couple locations. One that's warm, one that's Toronto.
That you can choose from. Okay.
But this, what is that? What would that be for Atlanta? Like why? Because I don't want to go nowhere where it's cold. Like why would I do that? And then if I go to LA,
but it's not though if you go in the summer, right?
I would never want to go to anywhere that would ever get cold at any point.
No, but if you go to a place that gets cold in the winter, in the summer, it's going to have better temperature than it does here. It's going to be cooler.
I'm already adapted to this weather. But not only that, like, like the price for housing too. Like I'll never leave. I'll never leave Atlanta. There's no need. Now I don't mind like possibly like just chilling out and trying other places for like a couple of months to a year.
Yeah.
But like this is my first time moving out of my mama crib, so it wasn't even like I didn't want to. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just gonna up and leave. That's what this nigga was telling me. He was like, "Hey yo, I know you about to leave your mom's house for the first time, so tell her you going on the other side of the country to Vegas."
Man,
that's what I'm saying. It's like, bro, that was crazy.
That's kind of just how it was for me though. I went when I was 18. I went to Niagara, 2 hours away from my parents, and then my parents, by the time I dropped. I was gonna say graduated. I didn't do that.
Yeah,
I dropped out. Yeah. They moved to Ethiopia, so so I was like, I guess I'm moving too.
So have you ever lived by yourself? Like,
no, I think I would hate that. I think I would be miserable by myself.
Oh man,
because I would have to go out and talk to people, or else I'd start fucking losing my mind. Because so when I lived with my parents, I had my family, and they were so annoying. So I always had people to annoy me. When I went to university, I always had at least 3 other roommates. And then when I left, even when I lived alone, Waleed was always there. And not just Waleed, he would bring over his gang of friends too. So I just was forced to be introduced to all his friends. And so I almost always am around people. I think if I was by myself, that shit would be lonely for sure. Like if you left me by myself in this house low for like 4 days, I'd start losing my mind. I'd probably just,
I'd be fine.
I would go to like comedy clubs by myself, and I would just start doing things on myself so I don't.
Man, start turning to the Joker, bro.
Literally, yeah.
Yo, I'm opposite, man. I love being solo. Like some days I be forgetting to like go out. Step foot outside.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
Like when I realized, like, yo, it's 8. And I have not been outside. Right now, and I haven't touched outside at all.
Sometimes I might just go outside, just hop in the whip and just start riding around.
I do that too. Yeah, I do that too.
But you know, I'm saying just because I ain't left the house
you ain't
all day.
That's what I'm
saying. Yeah, like man, I ain't seen outside. I don't even know what's going on outside. We could be in the middle of an apocalypse, and I would not know what's going outside. Bro.